West, y'all.
Yeah, man, my week's been good. It's been usual work shit, and glad I got Eric on board to do some editing. So,
Yeah, finally, just because I remember we did it last time, but now I've finally got it etched in. So yeah, had to work on a little bit of parts that I couldn't get, but they were easy. So now that's sunk in too.
So there's 2 videos we've got down, eh?
Yeah. So
I don't have to do.
I'll finish the second video after this because I just woke up recently, so yeah, I'll finish it after this. So it won't take me long.
Man, the Westwick's growing, eh? Wow, nice.
Yeah. Well, as soon as I learn how to do the other things, then well, hopefully we can pull out the videos at the same time as the audio.
Yeah, man.
That's
the goal.
probably the goal, eh?
Yeah, that is the goal. I need to get on to some writing. Got no time to edit, man, these days. Plus, there's a backlog, man. I got heaps of videos. Backlog every 5 videos. Too far behind, man. But we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there.
All right. Sweet. Yeah, can't wait.
Okay, sweet boys. Shall we start with our first article? So we'll start with news that Filippo posted up about a woman that got fired from her job for going on TikTok. She had an office job, right? And she got called in for a review or some sort from HR. And they gave her some stats. So in a span of so much time, they calculated she only tapped the keyboard 59 times. And I know they've got the data to get that because of the IT and all that stuff. They can monitor what their workers do on the office at their desk and stuff. But that was enough to cause concern of why she wasn't doing any work. And she came late to work 47 times, and other stuff like that, which showed that she was behind on her work and she wasn't doing much. But she had lots of activity on the TikTok account. It's because outside of work, she's like a influencer, right? So if you're spending a lot of time on social media during work hours, which they found out, because if they look on her posts she's been doing on social media, the time of her posts are all during work hours, and there's hours of it. So she's taking the company to court for wrongful dismissal, but I don't think she'll win because of all the evidence they've got. This the day and age. Hey, everybody's on trying to make money on social media, and the influencer thing is real, man. Like if you go viral, you're gonna get addicted to that, and you're gonna jump on that bandwagon. What do you guys think?
That's the same thing with YouTube, isn't it? Like if you get enough subscribers, you actually get paid. That's the way they're doing it, right? Online. So it's kind of the same, yeah, all over the platform.
So, what's your thoughts on this woman?
Well, doing a TikTok at work.
Yeah, and getting fired for it, or getting in trouble for it, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think she should have not done it at work. She should sort of try to figure out other ways of, or have like less days at work, like split her days maybe. Cut her days down that she spends at work and dedicate one day to her TikTok events. Maybe that's one way of doing it.
Yeah, I think it almost overshadows the fact that people that might need the emergency calls for people trying to get a hold of them, because I know there's workplaces that now stomp that stuff out. You can't use your personal phones on the floor and stuff. But if she was making a TikTok, how long would she have been editing it or trying to record it for? I think if the productivity or whatever she was doing obviously meant that she wasn't doing her job, then there's probably good grounds that she was just standing at work actually getting paid twice to influence and to do whatever she's paid to do. I think the saddest reality of it is that if her company brought her upstairs and bought statistics to show like how many times she touched the keyboard, well, that shows how out of touch maybe her organization or business place of work is with her. Because you'd think that wouldn't they have people like just walking around checking on them every now and then, like see what they're up to and stuff? Or would they have surveillance cameras seeing what they're doing? It's crazy that they can pull up all their IT and sort of like count how many times she touched the keyboard. That's man. Do they have that sort of thing inside the toilet? Like how many times you go and wipe your ass, or like open up the door to actually go to toilet, man? Because I bet you if they put a monitor on how many times people do that, well then they wouldn't be thinking, oh, 59 times ain't that bad. Then connects to like 100 times, you know.
Yeah, because I know where I work, they have a monitor system where every time you open up the POS, the till, it you, it gives the person in real time, where if they're monitoring from home or if they're monitoring from the office, of how many times you open up their till and how many times you close it, and if they're suspicious enough, they can go and check their camera
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
site where you're actually working in real time and have a look and see what you're doing.
Wow.
So yeah, they have all that kind of technology out there. It's possible.
I think the most interesting part of this story is, the fact that workplaces can now monitor their workers in a way where it's sort of creepy what they can do.
Yeah,
Like, especially if
yeah,
you're in an office situation when you've got a computer and you have a IT, especially those big companies, like big corporations that don't want to waste any time. Like every second counts. Every second is
Yeah,
is is dollars, and if you're wasting those seconds on TikTok or social media or got your Facebook on your
yeah,
screen and you're not doing your work well, if you're doing that for amount of time that is more than your lunch break,
yeah.
ah,
I mean, like
ah,
if they were selling like insurances or like selling like they were brokers like trying to make sales, like
yeah.
if they were
They need to
measuring
measure.
that, like if they said, look, your KPI needs to be at least 11 or 59 for the day, and like she's only touched the 58 but made no sales, like oh that's an issue to pull you upstairs. We'll be like, so we noticed you have done jack shit. Well, then
I
that's when
remember.
you'll be like, oh wow, really? No, I didn't know that.
I remember one time because we get a discount for our food that we have at work, and I did a double shift one period, but I used my staff card the whole day, and they were monitoring that. They were
Oh
watching
whoa.
like, hey, this guy's been eating all day. Is he still at work or? So
what?
they rang my boss and they were saying, hey, we believe that your staff member might have given the card to somebody else, and they're using it. And he was saying, nah, he's doing overtime. He's here. We don't believe he can eat that much. And I was like, what?
Right.
Because I had there was like a large amounts of food on there, but yeah, I was just like, what the hell? They monitor this shit?
Hmm.
Like fucking bullshit.
So I've just got the numbers up on screen. I didn't have it before, but okay. So it's 50. She had 54 keystrokes per hour over 49 days.
Oh yeah, wow.
So
That's fucking jack shit. Wow.
Oh,
she was found to work
Oh,
fewer. She worked fewer than her scheduled hours on 44 days. She started late
damn.
47 times and performed 0 hours of work 4 times.
Oh,
oh
that's fucking.
shit.
That's
That's
taking
bad.
the piss. That's really taking the piss. But good on her, man.
Yeah,
Like, fuck, if you can get away with it, do it.
yeah,
What's stopping you?
yeah.
You know?
You gotta get the
Well,
money.
it looks like she didn't get away with it because she got fired. But
Got fired, man.
but yeah, man, just the thought of what they can do. Like, if this is the new technology used to micromanage, they don't have to have a person walking around looking over your shoulder. You just go to the IT because, oh, can you tell me who Cam over there? Why is he on Facebook at 9 o'clock a.m. or stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's things you have to. I think I think the bigger company you go work for, the more chance of or more likely it is for them to micromanage their stuff.
Yeah. But still, brother, yeah, the statistics are pretty well. Well, for however long that went on, they like shit.
It's obviously she needs to, just Just do a TikTok, bro. Just stick to the TikTok if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. But that's another thing too, because I understand, if you're an influencer and you're on TikTok and you go viral and you've got all these followers and you make money from it, that's cool. But that's not a long term thing, eh?
Nah.
You know,
Hell no, it wouldn't last for
you
long.
gotta think about the future. You gotta think about how it is that how to sustain that.
Yeah, I can't see myself doing something like that all the time. I'll probably get sick of it.
Mm,
Would be like a short term thing.
yeah, because people do go old, and then and your face will get wrinkly, and then what? No one's gonna start. All your followers will start dropping off. But so boys, the other article we're gonna talk about is the Michael Orr story. So if you've seen the movie The Blind Side, starring Sandra Bullock, about that African American big man. I think he was 19. He was a teenager at the time, eh? He was 19 at the time when he was got homeless, and a family picked him up and sort of adopted him and nurtured his sort of schooling at a young age, especially because he was a talented American football player, and he eventually made college and eventually made the NFL. So the movie The Blind Side was based on his on what happened, based on the family that took him in, and based on his coming up to go to college and play for NFL. Now he's come out again in a story where he's suing the family for false adoption and for monies that were owed to him from the movie that he didn't get. So I'm not sure. I think the case is ongoing, but it looks like he's asking for a share of profits from the movie, and to I think to take away his or legitimize his adoption.
Because that's because the adoption wasn't an actual adoption. That's a conservatorship, eh? Conservatorship. So yeah, that's I only know of like what happened to Britney Spears, but my understanding is that if someone has that conservatorship over you, they make all your financial and all your decisions, like if he was to get employed, that the negotiation wouldn't be directly at him, it would be at the legal guardian. So that's pretty fucked up, man. Think about it. If he didn't sign an adoption, because he was, or unless the legal age in the States is like 21, we over here it's 18. But if they had like fooled him into signing something like conservatorship, fuck, that's messed up, eh? Because that's pretty much crippling you to be able to do anything. Like, even if you're like to go hire purchase something or go maybe sign up at like a uni or like a university or anything like that. So if that is what actually happened, then him going to where the parents went as students is pretty much against what the college football program and the way they recruit. They would have broken all those laws as well. Because is there one part on the movie where they asked him, why did you want to go to that college? And then he's sort of like, the movie's making out as if he's being like brainwashed or like he's being pressured into going to where the parents went. So it makes a lot of sense though. Because in the end, he ended up going there.
Oh yeah, now I'm just reading it now. He wants to end the conservatorship. Conservatorship. So the difference between conservatorship and the adoption would be, like any adoption, you'll become part of the family, right? But
Yeah.
a conservatorship is different. You're not anything but control of the financial of that person.
So that family earns all his financial, whatever he gets financially.
Well, they've got
Pretty much.
legal authority on his finances.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, but that's it. It's got nothing to do with being adopted or anything. I think if you watch the movie, he gets adopted, eh?
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
thought.
my
I thought he,
understanding, yeah. I was like, oh wow, they adopted him.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. So he's saying it's not an adoption; it's a conservatorship, which is not adoption. It's just they want to control his financial deals, which he claims that when they made the movie, the profits went to the family and not him.
Yeah,
So
that's fucked up.
So what happened that like he claims he claims that he's the movie made the family millions of dollars. The movie actually came out and said no, we didn't pay them millions of dollars. We only paid them $700,000,
Yeah.
$600,000, $760,000. Yeah.
That sounds freaking wrong, is it?
Hmm.
Something
Like, bro,
doesn't sound right.
that yeah, like, but even for himself, like, when would he have had known? Oh, hello, I'm actually like when he signed his football contracts and that. Wouldn't that have been
That
like
would have been
how
through the family, eh?
that would have been through them? So it's just surprising. Maybe is he looking for his like we was his cut from it, or is he actually wanted to be paid back from them?
He
Because he
he
would.
just
He's not claiming any NFL money, so maybe the money looks like the money just went straight to him. Because why would they pay the family his salary? The NFL is officially his job,
yeah.
Yeah,
so he'll get all the money from that job.
He would have been at
yeah,
we would have been roughly at legal age by then, don't we? Then he
Yeah,
could
but
have
he's still
just
got the conservatorship on him. But so he's
yeah.
so the court case is for him to dissolve the conservatorship, the family
okay.
to dissolve it, and for the family to not use his name and like this anymore.
But I
But
know
did you watch the movie?
I did watch a bit extra though, like
Mm.
of what was happening in that situation, because there's articles of him going on a TV show and he's like actually saying to them that Sandra Bullock should give up her Grammy for the award because the movie was fucked. That the family did a movie like that, you know. So
Damn.
I don't think I'd go that far, but to be able to like say if he went on like Ellen DeGeneres or like Steve Harvey show and went on there or ESPN and just came out and said, "Man, like there's some truth to the story," because it pretty much is a story, right? It's
Yeah.
about him not having a family and having the potential and that, and like he just all he needed was the support, and so he ended up becoming the Michael Orr and made it into the NFL. Like that's a dream. Like that's a take a guy from poverty and put him in the biggest NFL stadium in front of the thousands, and then being a full time gridiron player versus like, well, how many other stories are there like that though? But yeah, conservatorship, that's a bit fucked there. Like,
Mm.
I think,
Yeah,
yeah,
I've never
especially
heard
if
that
he's
before.
saying that he was fooled into like being adopted.
Yeah, I've questions though. Why now?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
2023 and he's come
Yeah.
out now. The book
2000
because it was a book first, right? The book came out
Yeah.
in 2006. The movie Blindside came out in 2009. He's come out 2023. So 10,
Yeah.
11, 12, 13, 14 years it took him to realize
Yeah.
Well, he
why.
just watched the movie.
Has he
Oh,
ran
just
out of
watched
money
the
now?
movie.
That's why he needs more money? Or has he spent
Yeah,
all
but if
his
it wasn't
NFL
money
earnings?
though, wouldn't it be like because like yeah, like they gave him a life though, right? They gave him a
Yeah.
life. They housed him, they fed him. He was part of the family, but then maybe there was no sort of like poor intent or like bad intent on their part. They were just trying to nurture him and make sure that he made it into the NFL. And like he would have been on heaps of money.
Mm.
There would have been at least some point on that time where he felt like, man, they've done everything for me. But then as he's gotten older and become more mature, then maybe he had his own family. And then he's probably looked at it like, well, they did house me, they did feed me. I was one of them, but legally I'm not adopted. Maybe this conservatorship probably needs to be washed off. But in that time, from when they made the movie to when his career had finished, how much money had they been making off me? Because it's my name, right?
Mm.
So maybe that was the like because say if his kids would say, "Oh, Dad, the movie is big. Like, how much money did you get?" And if he was to read like Okay, 270,000, and then you go to Wikipedia, click it, and go, hey, Perry, you're gonna be thinking, fuck, these fucking guys fucking had this ever before I had this too dumb to see, or maybe because he felt like I'm entitled, my kids should be entitled to some of that too, because at the end of the day, his kids will be going. So you lived up there, they housed you, you got a career, you lived a longevity, you're in the books, you're one of the first black guys to have a movie after you, but you got nothing. That's hard to fucking swallow. Say to your kids, yep, because of that conservatorship. So I don't know. That'd be one thing I would think of. Like, fuck yeah, he literally got nothing.
Yeah.
And
The
maybe
other
they
one I
can-
can
Sit
think
there and have
of,
breakfast.
the other one I think of is lawyers, man. You know, lawyers are looking for stories like this. Then they go
Yeah.
tap you on the
Yeah,
shoulder.
true.
Hey, man, I think we can get some money out of this. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pressure.
they're fucking you around, man. Hire me,
Yeah,
and we'll get some money for you. You know,
yeah.
Yeah.
There'll be
With
those
all this
But it would've
publicity that's going around it as well.
Yeah, it would have been alarming to see the amount though. Like if that, because initially they would have said, "Oh yeah, that's how much the family got," but then to see it like after however many years and see, "Oh, that's how much is actually cash at the box office," and even however many times on streaming networks and stuff like that, yeah, you'd be like, going, "What the fuck? Why didn't you get jack shit?" Of course, you're gonna be upset. I just hope, like that doesn't, or like maybe like because the family did look after him. It's not like they didn't care about him, but I
Yeah.
just hope that like that money's worth breaking all of that up, because he's actually gone after them, mate.
Well, according to the
Yeah.
movie studio, they've come out with the amount, right? So it was 760,000 odd. But there was no deal for a percentage of profits to go to the family. So there's no deal like that, because sometimes there's a deal like that when the actor gets the actor will get paid for their time making the movie, and then 5% of the profits too. There's deals like that,
Yeah.
but there wasn't a deal for this according to the
Yeah,
the movie studio. But the movie costs 29 million to make, and it made $309.2 million.
And they only got 700,000.
Yeah,
700,000.
they got 700,000.
Well, he pretty much got 70 cents of like the $7,000, really. Hey, 'cause, like, he got nothing. Fuck.
Yeah,
Fuck,
somebody's
I don't
on
know,
the
bro.
shoulder, bro.
I don't know if I
Somebody's on
could
the
do that,
shoulder.
bro. I don't know if I could do that, eh? Like, if they gave you a life, well, no, what's stopping you from making a real legit? Like, he could do his own Netflix series, right? He could do something for himself. But like,
Exactly.
why go after a family who fucking looked after you, man? You know? You
And why
became
after
But he
all
could
these
do a
years?
million things.
Oh,
And why
bro,
after all
hello.
these years? That's my question.
Hello.
You get to wait till you're poor again, or what?
No, somebody's probably
Nah.
on the shoulder, man. Saying, yeah, get that money.
Unless it's his boys from the hood going, you fucking changes, man. You ain't come back and look at us. He's got nothing. He's got nothing. He's like,
Change his can.
someone said, oh, yeah, so those white people clothed you, fed you. They didn't look after you. Then he's been like, damn it, I'm going to go after them. I'm going to go after them. Yeah, sad if he does, bro. Like, damn, that's a lot of money, dude.
Yeah,
good
I was
movie,
quite
though.
surprised when
I
I
enjoyed the
first
movie.
when I first heard this. I was like, oh shit, it's been a while, and he's coming out now. That was my first thought when I just quickly looked at it. I was like, oh okay. But yeah, it is a good movie all in all.
Yeah, it was brilliant film, man. Brilliant film.
Okay, Shop Boys. We'll go to some what's on your social media. So, when you're sitting on the Valley Wheeler and you're scrolling on your phone, what's catching your eye?
Okay, let's have a look.
Who did he say? Man,
Tell you
I've
what
been
I'm
on
enjoying.
Market Page, eh?
Huh? On the market?
Just Market Page, man. I'm addicted again. Damn it.
On Market Page,
Sure.
I've already started doing my Christmas shopping. Like I've already started scanning stuff, like what I'm going to buy soon. For certain people that they've already given me hints and tips, so I've already started looking. So I'm on. Yeah, I wouldn't say marketplace. I'll be just the overall internet, just looking around on Google and that.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
we've
enjoying.
been
I'm
browsing
enjoying
kids.
on TikTok. I'm enjoying people putting full movies on TikTok. Have you noticed that?
Full movies.
Yeah, like I think TikTok is like 3 minutes or 4 minutes or I don't know. I think it's 3 minutes. But people are actually posting up the whole movie on there, so 3 minutes at a time.
Oh, real?
Yeah, so I watched that movie with Jennifer Lawrence, how she's trying to go out with that guy,
Yeah.
the kid. I forgot the name of the movie. So that whole movie's on there, and then I watched Iron Fist, the one on Netflix.
Iron Fist. Is that with is that the Wu-Tang with shit? What's his name?
Nah, it's it's one of the Marvel
Yeah. Okay. I was checking the other Iron Fist.
it's one of the Marvel TV shows, so that's on there. Also watching Justin Holmes. He's got a program on TikTok called 9 to 5ers, and it's like a mockumentary style, a comedy where it's based in a shop, a retail shop, like a what do you call it, like an old Leamings, or a there's places where you can buy TVs and
like JB Hi-Fi store.
and washing machines and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Appliances in it.
Yeah, appliances. So he's got a show on there on TikTok called 9 to 5ers, and it's starring Regan Hawaii and who's gang's in it, and Terrell and Cam. He came on too.
Shit.
He came on, yeah. So I think it's 2 minute episodes coming out Sundays and Wednesdays. I think they're up to episode 4. So
Is it
yeah,
only on TikTok, or is it on
it's only on
Insta as
TikTok.
well?
It's only on TikTok. So I don't know if you guys know that program used to come on called The Office.
Yeah.
The British
I know
version.
that. Yeah.
It's a style. It's the same style as that.
Oh shit, that's pretty cool.
It's that kind of style.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty mean.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's something new on TikTok, dude.
Yeah. It's I don't know about what happens to the copyright. How people can put whole movies on there, but they're doing it there. Interesting.
Oh, well.
I also saw this story on TikTok. Man, I'm getting there's 3 things on TikTok I'm talking to you guys about. But
Sound like you're hooked, right?
TikTok fever.
But there's a story in the States about this teenage girl. She's 19 years old that just got found guilty for murder, tried as an adult. Got two consecutive 15 years to life sentences for killing 2 people. So what she did was, she's 19 years old, and her boyfriend was 19 years old as well, and he was going to break up with her. So what she did was, she had him in the car, and she had his best friend in the backseat of the car, and they were driving, and she just put the pedal to the middle and crashed the car into a brick wall, killed both of them, the passenger and her boyfriend, but she survived. So obviously she wanted to end the whole thing, but she survived just with a broken arm, you know. So her trial was on TikTok, and yeah, it was just I took notice because there's this thing on TikTok when she's sitting down while the judge is like her lawyer and the judge are talking, and the camera's just focused on her, and she's like swinging in her chair, and the caption is like, oh look, she acts like she doesn't care, she's gonna get let off, and you can see her face, she's like sort of not smiling, but she's not paying attention, and she's swinging in her chair, so she's looking kind of arrogant, and then it switches to the next one after she gets found guilty, and she's like sobbing in tears, she's crying, and then then I just went into it, and I saw the whole story. So
because with TikTok you can actually on the fly, you can write all types of stuff while you're doing the videos and shit, like all types of comments right on the fly. So probably that's the different thing with TikTok. And get everybody else's reactions at the same time.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like I was scrolling through, and I was watching the story, but I was watching all the other people's reactions to the story too. Like I saw the car crash. There's even footage of the car, Like I think there is footage of the car actually crashing, like speeding down the street. But it's funny because she was saying it was an accident, you know. But then that they discovered that with investigation, she was actually in that area where she crashed days before the crash. Like she was like looking for a
Scoping it
place to
out.
crash,
Shit.
and they found that out through her phone because they GPS their phone, and she was in that area a few days before the crash.
Hey,
And
we were just talking about this earlier. The monitoring.
yeah, the monitoring. That's right.
Yeah.
So the lawyers of the families that their sons got killed, they were saying, oh, she already knew. She planned the whole thing because she was going for manslaughter. It was an accident, but then that she got
Just for murder.
manslaughter turned to murder, and she got 15 to life. 19 years old, man.
Fucking hell. Hey, you
On the
just
waist.
reminded me. You remember those guys that were doing the whole rapping thing at the bar?
The what?
The hooch bar.
Oh, the brothers, were they brothers?
Yeah, the brothers. They got something like one got 16.5 years, the other one got 17.
What was this?
I saw it on the paper the other day. Sorry for bringing that up out of the blues.
Those are two brothers that have been drugging people, drugging people, patrons at the bars and shit. And then
Yeah, they'll get them
hiring
drunk,
out rooms.
and then they'll
hiring
Over
rooms
here.
and taking them up here. Yeah.
New Zealand.
Was it here? Oh, I think it was Christchurch. Was it Christchurch or Dunedin?
Yeah. The mama hooch. Far out. I feel sorry for the dad.
Oh man,
The
that's
old
sick.
roofies, eh?
Yeah, man, and then taking advantage of women and taking them upstairs and recording them and whatever.
Yeah,
What?
so it was multiple people, women, in the Christchurch bar, Mama Hooch.
Mama Hooch, is that the name of the bar?
Yeah. Daddy and Roberto Jazz used their positions in the family business and neighboring restaurant Veti to spike drinks and drug and sexually violate people between 2015 and 2018. God damn. Shocking, bro.
3 years. That's a long time to think you're not going to get caught and just keep on doing it.
Yeah. Probably just got more like, fuck it. Let's keep going. But yeah, just that when you said that life sentence, I just remembered that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been a TikTok week for me on social media.
Yeah, I've been watching those bloody YouTube, the short YouTube videos, just random videos.
On the shorts. Yeah.
Yeah, I caught myself watching it for an hour, so I was like, "Fuck, what a waste of an hour." I've just been doing that shit. What about you, Let's? What have you been up to?
Just been market pitch, bro. Because like I've been thinking of like buying a Portacom, but like I want to sort of like just test myself and maybe build one. I mean, I know I'm capable of building one. I mean, I don't have all the power tools to do it, but just looking at the price of what you buy, like a 6x3, like almost like a container, like an actual port container, which is 20 foot container. I could
What do
make
you-
one, right?
What are you trying to build?
Oh, so I want to build like a little studio to cut out of and put it around the
true.
front. Yeah, I've been looking at the price of timber and stuff, but like when I weigh it up, what you pay someone to build a fence for you, which is like $109 a meter, versus whether I can go buy all that material myself and do it myself. So yeah, I've just been shopping for like materials, eh? But yeah, I wouldn't mind building one myself. I mean, it's not hard. It's just the matter of having the power tools and the time to do it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with just trying to make it myself because you can look at the ones that you can get that are fully insulated and that, and they sort of like the inside of your fridge, which is or like they feel like the material on the side of a fridge, that thin aluminium sheet, and it's insulated.
yeah.
But I mean, you can't paint it, So I might just try and build one, bro. I'm looking at the price of chips coming down. I'll probably build one, half 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 timber, half corrugated iron, and yeah, make one custom to myself. I'll just take my time building it. Yeah, it wouldn't cost me like 13 grand, 18 grand. That's like fucking. Might as well go give me a new car with that money. Yeah.
Exactly, bro. With the prices
But
these days, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
So, brothers, shall we get to the favorite book of the week? So, today's favorite book of the week is brought to you by Never See a Lalo.
Yay.
Yeah. So, we found the it's on the Facebook page. So, it's a video of it looks like a workplace, and apparently there's a mouse running around the workplace, and there's women present. So it's up to the men to try and get rid of this mouse. So it doesn't even go to plan, because firstly, we're giving the fit book to the men, because the way they're handling to capture this mouse, they may as well be the girls too. And you'll know what I mean when I play the video. So here goes.
What the?
So I don't know.
You know
How would you have handled that, Eric?
Bro, I don't know what the guy with the broom was doing, man. Just smack it. You run after it and you try to beat the shit out of it.
Now you know what I imagine, Eric. I don't believe you one at all, bro. I imagine you telling everyone you need to grab this, telling everyone else what to do to try and get as close as they can, and then fucking locking them in the room.
But you know, looking at it again, it looks like somebody's pulling down on the string, man. It looks like a little toy.
All I can say was like, if that's how you act as a man and fucking something like this, fucking hell,
Oh man. If it wasn't like a giant ass flipping rat, yep.
That's why I put as a comment. It's like, man, shit, that was close, eh? Like, fuck, it was.
And firstly, they put a box over it, right? And then they have to handle it with broomsticks. They want to keep well away from the box, you know.
Oh, no.
And it's just as bad as the lady.
Man.
In comparison to what I just saw, like I was watching a show. I think I was watching it on TV. It was like I went into the lunchroom at work, and there's like somewhere in Miami there's a animal control, but there was a cop. It was a chick, man. She was wearing like open toe jandals, and she had like a noose for like a hen or like a dog. She had one of those. She's walking to the water to get a crocodile, man. Fuck. Look at these guys. These guys with a broomstick. A box. Oh, my gosh. Something as big as someone's big toe was running around on the floor. And the way they react.
A giant crocodile.
It's like, oh, my gosh, really?
Mate, they'll be no good on the islands, man. The centipedes and rar, they'll scare the shit out of you, bro.
Oh, well deserved fear book of the week.
So go get your shoeboxes and your broomsticks, eh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Kiko
Essential,
broom, bro.
It's essential for getting rid of rodents in your place. Okay, next up we got our song of the week. So this is a song suggested by also Filippo. Mr. Big, To Be With You. Don't know if you guys remember that song. But it's one of those feel good it's a drinking song, eh? I would think. It's a drinking song from back in the days. So one of those sing along drinking songs when you're drunk. Probably in the night. One of the ending the night songs, eh? Or even in the middle of the night.
Wait,
but
did he
definitely a song you sing when you're drunk.
Did he request this at the jukebox, or did he ask the DJ to play it, or was he listening to it on the way home?
I didn't ask him. I should have asked him, me.
But
there's a line in the chorus. I want to quote, and I want to ask you guys what you think that quote means. But before we do that, what are the memories you have with this song from back in the days?
Wow, it takes me back to the 90s straight away. Just makes me think of the 90s. Everything 90s.
Yeah, I thought
I
it was
got
like Aerosmith or something. I didn't know it was until I saw the title. Then I was like, oh man, because that's from an era from when, like, I remember More Than Words, Extreme,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
guys with long hair and played the key color. You know, it was like, oh wow.
yeah.
that's
So
right.
to hear
Guys
this,
with
it was
long
like, oh
hair.
man, you'd always
Yeah.
hear this after like on like easy listening or classic hits, you know. But that's what
You're
I'm
right,
asking.
man.
Was
You're
he
right.
drunk?
No, you're right. Because when More Than Words came out, that was a hit, man. Hey, that was fucking the jam, eh?
Yeah,
Bro, this looks
That was a non hip
the
hop,
bars,
non
bro.
pop,
yeah.
non hip hop, non R and B jam that everybody got into, eh?
Hold up.
And
This
then
song had bars.
and then Mr. Big came out with their song, their version of that kind of style, eh? So yeah, you're right.
Mm.
It just kicked off those kind of songs.
Yeah, because it reminds me too of Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kind of that kind of same kind of era.
yeah,
But I
yeah,
used to
yeah, yeah.
sing along hard with those guys, bro. Man, fuck, it just like get me in the mood.
so and I'm gonna read you guys the chorus of the song. You can probably sing the song in your head when I read out the words, but the chorus goes, "I'm the one who wants to be with you. Deep inside, I hope you feel it too. Waited on a line of greens and blues, just to be the next to be with you." Now, my question to you guys is, what do you think the words "waited on a line of greens and blues" means?
Straight up drugs, bro. Waited on a line of green and blue. Sounds like a line of coke, bro, but green and blue. Just to be with you. Shit. Yeah, to me it's drugs.
Okay. How
So
about you,
is the
Liz?
word is the word
Yeah.
line of greens and blues?
Waited on a line of greens and blues.
I don't know. Like after hearing that, after you just saying it, it makes me think like, was he on a train or something, or was he heading that way? Was he sitting like at a
Yeah,
train at a bus
true,
stop?
true.
Like at the train stop, getting off on the line, like on the green line, heading out to where the blue line was, and that was him just at stop after stop after stop just to get to her,
To be
because
with
where's he
you.
heading? Where's he coming from?
That's a possibility.
Hmm. So,
But
according to Google, if you look it up, there's sort of like two meanings. So, it's, so greens refers to jealousy, and blues refers to depression.
Oh
oh
shit!
That's
shit.
one of the meanings. The other one is it's a mood ring. So green is happy
Oh
and
yeah,
blue
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
sad.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
gotcha.
had one of those rings, bro. I had one of those rings.
It'll be like red will be angry,
Oh
right?
shit!
Yeah,
I think
And
yeah,
purple will be calm or something? Or something like that. I don't know.
yeah.
Shit. Well, fuck, that's bad.
but is he on the phone? Is he on the phone or is he waiting?
I think he's waiting. He's waiting on the line of greens and blues. Means he's in the middle. He'll either
Yeah.
be happy or sad. Yeah,
Oh
depending
yeah,
But
on
next
what
time, yeah,
yeah.
on their answer or something. Yeah,
until
Yeah.
he's with next to her.
yeah.
Oh, fuck, that's bad. Oh, that's mean.
So he didn't ever dose on the drugs and they were like, damn it, I was literally almost there. Should have just waited. Because then the movie was
Too
going
late.
black. The movie was
It's
going
getting
black.
too
He's
late.
like, damn.
I'm already gone. Shit, no,
Right.
that's way. Fuck, that's cool. That's deep.
Nice, nice. That was a good one. Okay, time for how far we've come.
Yeah, how far we come? Yeah, man. So just something that I'll be browsing that's on the back of closer to the elections, and I'm not gonna touch on who you're voting for the coming election for the new government, but just to pay homage to like Honorable William Seal, who gave us last, forgot what the name of the speech is, but his last sort of share in the caucus the other day, he touched on something that I thought to myself was like, man, that's so powerful. It's so powerful, like just the way he's mapped out his speech. And it got me thinking about history and our history of like Pacifica in New Zealand. And so, because I didn't get work on Friday and I was in a lot of pain, I hadn't really slept because I couldn't sit upright or couldn't lie down on my side. But I started just researching and just going into deep diving of our history, and especially our history in Ponsonby and Greyland. Um, the early settlers that came, like if we can remember far back enough, we were brought to this country, especially to Auckland, to sort of fit the jobs that maybe the Kiwi, the Palangi, and Maori weren't willing to take. So a big airplane of us came over. Our parents, our grandparents came over, and just to see, just to see it on film in black and white. And I remember seeing, people like Hone Harawira and Tingi Lau Ness. Even the guy they filmed the movie Panthers about, the Tongan guy Willie, can't pronounce his last name, but guys like that, they came over at a time where we weren't really wanted here. We wanted to do the jobs, but they didn't want to give us the rights to get the day off or pay increases. And it showed in the history back then in the 70s that the housing in Greyland was poor, the housing in Ponsonby was poor, housing in Herne Bay was poor. And yet the landlords were wanting families, predominantly Pacifica families, so the New Wayne community, the Tokelau community, the Samoans that came over during that time, they were housed in these like really poor housing. And even today it's still a tough thing for New Zealand homeowners. And like you only need to see how cold it's getting now. Um, it's a big revolution of like how far our people have come. Um, the Honourable William Seal is a minister for the Pacific peoples. He's in the government, and he was pretty much 2 or 3 down from prime minister. He was one of those kids that came over here for a better education, a better life. He carries his culture on his back everywhere he goes. I looked at like the footage of how bad our people were living back in Greyland and Ponsonby, and you see how what has come of those houses now. They're like more than 30 years ago, those were already in the $1 million villas, and our families were sort of pushed out of that area and into Mangere, into South Auckland. But people that know their ngafa far back enough, they know we lived in Greyland and Ponsonby first. And like we're on here, we didn't go out south, but we went down to Ranui, Swanson, and Henderson. So looking over the history, I want people to sort of take note of our history and not sweep it under the carpet. William Seal was he was one of 2 guys that made it into Parliament, and there was him and Taito Philip Field who passed away some time ago. But if you look at, these were people who were given like low socio-economic situations where it was state housing. They weren't, we weren't wanted here, and now all of a sudden we're in the government. We're holding spaces like we were in, we got people just waving the flag everywhere and everything that we do here. The thing I sort of don't want to forget, and I'm educating my kids around it, is like our history, because the Tokelau Church is still in town. There's only a handful of other churches apart from the PIC that are still there. But you look how far we come, man. Like, we belong here, right? And I'm always going to keep saying that. Like, we belong in society. We have a voice. We have the opportunity to vote. We have the opportunities to get an education here. We should be held to remember it, because some of the history when I was at school wasn't taught like the way I know it now and the way my kids know it. And that's the Māori history and the history of this country. But as being a Pacifica, I want us to take that time to go and learn it and teach it back to our kids. Because if you don't teach your kids the history now, when they get older, when they get to our age, they don't have a history to sort of stand on, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not proud of my ngafa from Ponsonby because it's tied to many clubs and it's tied to people who fought for our future. And like when I think about the Patu squad, the Polynesian Panthers, clubs like the King Cobras, the Muggle Mob, the Black Powers, they're not clubs that went out looking for trouble. They were the clubs that looked out for people who felt like they didn't belong. And like that's a true history of who we are and what humble beginnings we came from. So now I'm proud, like hearing William Sewell's speech and what he pushed in front of the government is, and in his time being under Jacinda Ardern, we managed to get an apology for the Dawn raids. And his closing words was to keep acknowledging the past like that and get it sorted because you only look at the Samoan and the Kiwi-born Samoans now and many other PI ethnicities, it's growing. And if you can't correct the past or apologize for it, it's not going to make the future any better because there's always going to be something hanging over that new government and then the people who remember the history. So now I feel proud to look over it and remember it. It's never been a better time, I think, because I'm going to be 40 soon, maybe. But yeah, I just love the fact that my parents came many years ago and we sold our property. Now we don't have it. We would have been 39 years now. And now my bloke from Ranui, proud Ranui, and now living in Territory South. And yeah, I just like to think of it like, man, come a long way, but we belong here, man. So yeah, that's my little segment of look how far we come.
Charles, yeah, man, it's and also like it shows the rest of the world what New Zealand's all about. Like if other countries with their indigenous, the indigenous have it bad. They probably don't have a voice.
Yeah, man.
But I'm not saying like we're far ahead. We still got a lot of work to do. But at least when Opito Seal did his a valedictory speech, I think, yeah,
Yeah,
in his attire, man, that showed the world, that we are open to, having those smaller voices to come in a big
yeah,
space like Parliament and do our thing.
yeah, man.
It's good. Yeah, it should make all of us proud.
Yeah, man. I think it's I'm actually proud that there's a lady. I think she's her pop was one of the founders of the Polynesian Panthers that they've got that, and it's only been uploaded like in the last 2 weeks. I'm proud that she's managed to snippet it and capture all the riots from when the Springbok tour came and all of that, and then just some of the earlier stuff from the Polynesian Panthers, like you saw like a young Tingy Lau talking and stuff. But it just goes to show like these guys were pushed out of education and they saw the way their parents were treated, and they became the voice for their parents. And that's pretty much the opportunities that we have today, man. Like if they didn't fight for it, then who knows what could have how our lives would have turned out. But it's massive to see like someone from like Mangere come over like that and they end up in caucus, man. Like to me that's a proud moment, it's a win. It's a win for our people.
Nice. Nice segment, the old how far we've come. Enjoy that one every week. Yeah. All right, boys. We'll go next. What shall we do? Shall we do food review? Anyone got a food review?
I'll go one name for my local man. I'm gonna sound like a guy right now, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Said the other night I went up to Noodle Express. It's on the Roberts Road block of shops. It's the last one on the end of the whole block. But they actually got I think it's called the West Side Brew House. So there used to be a United Video there. They're gonna turn into I think a little liquor store or something like that. I don't know how that came about,
I
but
think
a
I'm a
couple
liquor
of
store.
those over. Well, it's a brew house, so I'm assuming it might be one of those take your own plastics and fill up your own liquor.
Oh, wow.
Eh?
hoping it's I'm not too
Either
sure.
that
So.
or
It
probably some
reminded
kind
me
of
of
soup.
Brewmasters. That's what I saw. Like when I saw the brew, I was
Oh.
like, "What is that? Is that like Brewmasters?" You know, because it's the same sort of sign,
Yeah.
sort of sign, man, and the same font. So I was like, I wonder if it's one of those places you take your own bottles and fill up your own liquor from the drums or stuff like that. But anywho, this Noodle Hut, so Noodle Express used to belong to a Thai couple, but they're no longer there. So I haven't been up to the takeaways for almost a year and a bit. But I went in and had a look, and they've got like the like the like the $4 plate that used to be at the Henderson back in the day. You pay the $4 and you just pick to what you want, like the egg foo young, the sweet and sour pork, the fish. So
A
they got
Silverbell.
one
A Silverbell you're talking about?
similar to Silverbell, yeah, similar to Silverbell. But so their price range starts from like $10 for three scoops, $4, and it goes up in like maybe like maybe like 200 grams per plastic serving. So I went in there. And I had to say, hello, introduce myself. And I even told them I'll do a food review for you guys. Little did they know, just from the 5 mushrooms that I had last night, it's not going to sound too good, right? So they had, because I asked them, do you have fish? And they're like, we can cook you fish. Like, yeah, okay. So they don't do fish bites. But I looked at the fried rice. The fried rice looked nice. They do egg foo young, a sweet and sour pork, but it's not actual, like, it's not the normal pork that you see. It's more like long strips of bacon, but a thick bacon. They also do, what do they do? Like a sweet and sour. It's like, it looks like sweet and sour, but it's like a barbecue looking sauce. Lamb flap curry, and then they have the soft serve noodles and something else. So I went in there with my $14, keen to have some. I had to wait for the egg foo young, and she told me, "Yep, tell me what you think when you come back," because there were 4 other options that I didn't choose. But yeah, but if I'm a grade it out of 5, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say it's a 3 at best. Reason why was like, I was standing there and I was cold. I was like getting annoyed, like, come on, man, I just want to get my food and go, like, So this family used to own a restaurant in Onehunga. So she said that she'd been trading there for more than 10 years. And she's finally just thought, oh man, try my hand at takeaways, because the Thai family pretty much gave it to them and they've moved in. But yeah, the fried rice was nice. The egg foo young is a miss, because the guy was obviously trying to cook real fast, and I ended up moving like some eggshells out of my mouth. And that's when I got annoyed, because it was like the second scoop. I was like, fuck. I was just annoyed. But then the thing that annoyed me the most, and why I give it a 3, is because the portion sizes of the plates. So if you started from $10, $12, $14, and it goes up to $20. For $20 you can choose anything inside. I think it's like one of like maybe 10 things you can choose from. But yeah, that's why I don't sort of like not happy like that there's so many options and sizes and go up like $1 or $2. So yeah, 3 only because of that. But in terms of like the options, like the 3 scoops and the 4 scoops, was like, come on, man, just do like one price for like the whole lot. Base your price around the quantity of what you can have, like back in the day, like most other places do. So what I advise people to go there, I'll let you know when I go back and taste the other 4 samples. But yeah, Little Express, man, tell it to yourself. Yeah, about a 3.5 stars, or 3 stars for now, until I can go back and taste the rest of their what they got on their selections. But yeah, that's the only food review I've had this week.
You know those Robert Rose shops? Yeah, there's one around the corner. There's like a Thai place, eh?
Oh, the Tuk Tuk Thai used to be there. No. Yeah, Tuk Tuk Thai used to be there. So that's gone up to the Glendine roundabout now.
Oh.
They vacate the shop right on the end of their block.
So there's no more shop on the corner on the if you turn on the side of the shops. There's like a
no, they're not there anymore.
Oh, true.
It's now a laundromat. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, they were good.
Yeah.
Oh, but they're in Glendine now, so.
Yeah, they got up there.
I think laundromat's always on fire.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
I think it's probably like some homeless people, they go in there. Or they just go sit there in front of machines. But I've never been in there, but I heard that's not a safe place to go dry your washing, man.
I want to make a shout out to my local takeaways, the Golden Palace takeaways, and Bruce McCurran, just opposite Bruce McCurran Intermediate.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon they got good fish, man. The fish is big.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went there this week because I was lazy to cook. But man, the thing I noticed, because I don't go to the closest takeaway here at the Palomino shops, because man, that is gone man.
Is it the
wow.
Kowloon one, eh? Is it Kowloon? No, fuck.
Yeah.
Shit,
Those
guys,
prices,
hey.
man, I can't believe it. You know how
prices.
you know when if you go to Smith and Wong's, you get the silver tray with 3 choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the price has gone up, because it used to be $25 back in the day. Don't know what it is now.
Yeah.
But they sell the same thing at that Palomino shops for $85.
Oh, I
Who's
about
gonna
the
Yeah.
$85, man.
I think the one at Atlantic Shops is right about 3 choices. If I remember correctly, 65. But bro, I reckon it's mean. It's mean.
Yeah, 65. See,
Yeah, I forgot the name of the store.
that's over
Is
the
that Silver
boundary.
Bell?
65.
Yeah.
See, I'll pay $40 for that kind of tray. Eh? Like,
Oh,
even
true.
$40 is like borderline. But I understand prices going up. But man, the prices at the Palomino takeaway, man,
85.
holy shit, man! Like, anyway, oh, man, you can't even spend $10 at a fish and chip shop anymore. You know,
Nah,
come away with feed for your family.
not even there. Macca's.
Remember, $5 chips used to be heaps, eh?
Bro,
Fuck
$5. Bro, $5 chips during summer is probably the killing at the takeaways now, eh? Because like
Yeah.
$5 or what it used to be back in the day, like $5 now it looks like $1 cup.
Yeah,
Legit,
Yeah.
man. Legit. It's like fuck.
Yeah, I go.
I asked for
think
$5 now
minimum-
too.
I think minimum for me now is like, if we're gonna get chips, it's probably $10 worth,
Ah,
and that looks like $5.
it's like $5 for one scoop now.
Man, I tell you what I am feeling right now, man, is if you go into Countdown or Pack and Save, they have the pub fries or the pub wedges.
Yeah.
Man, anyone that listens, man, and I appreciate your love and support. Get at us that we can buy a decent sized plate of wedges, man. Because fuck, gone are the days of the $8 wedges when you get to the pub and get like the sour cream and all the rest of it. But man, yeah, even that at the moment it's like almost. I think I went to a place down in Henderson. It was like almost $14.
Fuck.
40
I'm not surprised.
$14,
I'm not
man.
surprised.
But the wedges were good, though. The wedges were good, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to look for a place that does nice wedges. Like I'm just happy just to go there and eat the wedges.
Yeah.
You know the good
I
thing
mean,
about eating wedges is the sour cream and the
Yeah,
and the sweet chili sauce,
yeah,
chili sauce, bro.
I was gonna say that too.
bruh. And sprinkle some bacon bits and some cheese, bruh. That's the
But
one.
that to me,
Shut
that's
up,
the
man,
winter
I'm hungry.
food rules. That's the winter food rules.
Oh,
You know? That's why when I saw their takeaways and I saw it was like options, you can just pick. I'm like, oh my gosh, where is this? How long you been here? That's why I was like asking you all these questions. But man, wedges,
You're
bro.
better
If
off making
anyone's
it
got a
yourself.
pack of wedges, let us know, man.
Yeah, better off
350.
making it yourself now.
$3.50 for a bag from the Pack and TV. You just put it in the oven, just air fry it, you know.
Oh,
The best wedges I've ever tasted in my whole life in Auckland is the Cavalier Bar in Ponsonby. So the Cavalier is on College Hill. It's like a pub in the corner, and get the wedges there, bro. Man, best. They're probably like $50 now.
I'll let you know when I got a spare 50, Usu, okay?
just to save up for 50 for some wedges.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sweet boys. Shall we go to what are we watching? Start with you, Eric. Start with you, Eric.
Yeah, I've been watching this. So yeah, I just finished watching Ahsoka. It's part of the Star Wars franchise. That's yeah. I mean, if anyone that knows Star Wars and that, or seen the Clone Wars, the animated series, yeah, they would know what I'm talking about. The Ahsoka series. So yeah, that was pretty good. But what I really wanted to talk about was a Korean TV series that I just finished watching on Netflix called Moving. It's about it's superheroes. It's about superheroes, but made by set in Korea, so it's Korean. It's the storyline goes that there are superheroes within the community, and the government are trying to find these superheroes and use them for government use, like for military and it. But these superheroes end up having kids. They start having families of their own, and they don't want their kids to go through the same thing, so they start going into hiding. And the government starts trying to see if they can flush these guys out. But they have experiment heroes of their own as well, and they use them as assassins to try and hunt down these old remnants of these old superheroes, but which have kids. So the kids don't know that they have superpowers yet until later on in their teenage life, as they start learning about their powers and stuff, and start learning that the other colleagues in their school have powers as well. And it goes with the story where the assassin comes over to town and he starts taking down these superheroes, but he starts to learn that these heroes that he's been taking down, they also have kids. So he tries to make them move on the kids in it. So it starts out broadening out with the characters, their backstories in it, and the parents' backstories. But I find it really fascinating. It's a kind of different type of superhero movie. There's not too many hard up flash special effects. There is special effects in it, but it's very mild, and it's real gritty. There's a lot of blood, heaps of blood, and there's a lot of action too, which is quite odd. Because when you watch it, it's like a romantic comedy type of program, but then you come with this really violent action scene. So it's like, what am I watching? So it's kind of confusing in a way, but it works. The kind of chemistry is working for me. So yeah, I've been watching that.
Yeah, Korean movies have been coming in headlines a lot. Like they've been coming up, being real influential in the movie business. There was this one famous movie that came out a while ago, filmed in Korea. The story is out of it. It's a story about a serial killer who kills children. So
Damn.
he kills 9-year-olds, 8 years old. Anyway, the parents of all these kids, maybe there's 5 kids or whatever, get a message to come to this warehouse, right?
Yeah, I've heard this one.
So the parents all show up at this warehouse. These are the parents of the kids that have been killed by that serial killer. They show up to the warehouse, and there's a guy chained up to a chair in the warehouse, blindfolded. And he's the killer. He's the killer of their kids. And in this warehouse where the parents show up, there's all these weapons around, like an axe or saw or all that kind of stuff. And yeah, they're told that is the serial killer. And what are you going to do about it? So the story's based around that. So it's like, if you're a parent, what would you do?
Yeah, that's especially what they're saying there.
Sort of thing, Yeah.
Yeah, there's they're really creative, eh? And it's good to see a different industry, try these kind of things.
Yeah, they're real creative. They're real
Hollywood side
dark.
of things.
It's real dark too, eh?
Yeah, very
Yeah.
hard up.
It's funny too because they can go from real dark to real happy joy, like almost
Yeah.
kiddie like.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was laughing at this program that I've been watching. It was almost kiddie like. What am I watching? And then it goes really violent, like straight to restricted 18 material. So it's like, oh, big switches.
I mean, you need to look at the way Parasite came out, and at the time when all these other
Yeah.
good films had come out, and like even here in New Zealand, like we didn't even hear about it. We need to saw it when it came out at the Grammys and shit. But when it actually
Yeah.
came out and you got to watch it, we're like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's
Exactly,
man, that's
bro.
good. But yeah, their creative minds out of the box. Like man, you would never have imagined that you can drag a storyline so far, and then the last part of a film just get it going as to why that happens in that film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when with the score with the TV show, like the music and stuff in the background is it's ahead of its time. It's almost just as good as what Hollywood's doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, they really know how to push those emotional parts in the scene.
Straight
and
up,
they
love.
use
Straight
the
up,
music
hey.
to really
Yeah,
amplify
bro.
that. They go hard with it.
Yeah,
It's like,
hard
oh
up.
man, look, he's in love with her.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh damn.
But yeah, especially for like the subtitle movies, bro. Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like you're watching, like what so you said, like watching just normal dialogue and there's no film, and it might be just intense music, but you just feel you think nothing of it. But when you watch the films, bro, they've got you like they're pulling on the strings emotionally, like with the sound and then even the words, the explanation, like the subtitle that comes up. I was like,
And some
man, that's fucking deep.
and sometimes the characters just need to look at each other, but you understand what's happening. You're like, fuck. It's just the music in the background, like going, oh man, it's like crazy.
How about you, Let's? What have you been watching?
Bro, so I've just been watching my normal films. The Cooking with Verna, the family ever in the States. But and my DIY films, because I'm adamant I'm gonna build my own new barbershop, my own studio. But man, just on the back of like having a conversation with someone about like what's it that Far North film? I don't know if you've heard about it, but because I heard about the story in here first, and then I walked into the lunchroom at work and I caught like the Tim Rivera and the chick from like West Side. And I sort of clicked, oh shit, this must be for that Far North. So it was up to episode 4 when I'd seen it at the lunchroom. I came home and I watched it on Friday after watching on my Dawn Raid film on YouTube. But man, I gotta say, that is freaking good, man. Like again, the Asian communication with the intense music over the top.
Yeah.
And then add a Maori and a Palangi and some Tongans on screen. Like it was pretty much the acting crew from Red, White, and Brass. But having those guys all on screen along with those Asians, man, it's fucking good, eh? It's a good series, man. It's just
where can you watch that? Because I've been trying to.
It's on
Can you watch it
TV3.
online?
TV3.
yeah, three on demand. Three on
demand.
Three now.
I've been trying to find it on there.
Yeah,
Yes,
look
sir.
up Far North on 3 now. It's on there. I think
Okay,
there must be
okay.
another 2 more, eh? Must be 2 more series or 2 more episodes. But yeah, just the story that I got told in here, and then talking about it with one of the writers, and then watching that, it was like, man, that's really good, bro. Like, man, it's amazing how that story's, it is based on a true story, but just how much of it they put on film, which is like, yeah.
Yeah,
But I'll be watching that.
it's a story that captures the community of the minority communities in Auckland. You got the Tongans there, you got the Asians, because we got a big Asian community here. And it's good to see them in big parts. Like the ladies that are in the boat at sea. It's all in Mandarin too. You got your subtitles, so it's good representation. Even though it's a bad they're bad guys, it's
Yeah. Well, see, even like the Nana, like that's a Nana in Tonga, and like a Tonga Nana in Northland, right? If you look far back enough in the history of like when the like of the Dawn raids and that, when the Tongan families were hiding in their little cubby holes inside flats and stuff, and they knew that the cops were coming, they split, and a lot of the families that left Ponsonby that didn't go out to Manurewa or Mangere or Ranui, they went up north. So that history is legit in this film, right? It's like that the family they just lived up north, and it's crazy that I got mates they come up and they go, oh, going up to see my uncle. Oh, what's up there? Oh, he's to come get some sheep and cook some mandarins. It's like, oh, true, where up north? They like talking about these places like I ain't part of that, But yeah, it shows how beautiful New Zealand is too, eh? Like with some of the pics that they like panning over the air and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's how simple life is up north.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I noticed there was a scene when they were trying to get the boat out to sea, and Tim's using the tractor to tow the boat out, but the score on that scene is a lot like the score that's in the TV series Fargo. I think it's season 3 with the hitting the drums and that. That score is exactly the same. So yeah, man, it's good. It's a good nod to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what's hard case though, because you know how Tim like reverses the tractor, eh? He's like going back. He's going back.
Yeah.
For a split second, I was waiting for him to go. "It's your fucking brain."
Yeah,
He
yeah.
pretended to Jake the Massey.
Yeah,
He was waiting for him to pretend to Jake the Massey and then sang us on the boat. Especially when they're on the boat, he's like, "You fucking idiots, you fucking idiots." Subtitle goes along the bottom, and then you see Tim like reversing his fucking. He's waiting for "It's your fucking brain."
You know that whole scene, because when Karen was showing me, I was saying, "Bro, I've been in a situation like that where we're backing up the boat, and because we didn't pull out fast enough, the boat came forward again and got stuck, and the guy got pissed off."
So, man, that's definitely a few book of the week. That singer trying to drive the boat.
It was driving. The guy that was taking us out, he was alright, but we couldn't reverse the boat fast enough.
You know the last one, how he sped in front, how he sped the boat,
Yeah,
sped the boat forward.
He was like, "Turn
He-
around."
all he forgot to do was turn the fucking steering wheel. Hey,
Yeah, hey.
he just carried on going straight, and
he
then
just had to
blamed
turn the steering wheel. Damn.
It was almost out.
Okay, I've been watching. I watched this film in the week called The Lost King. It's a British movie, and apparently it's a true story too. So it's based. I think it happened a couple of years ago. You guys know King Richard III? Well, he died in battle, and he got buried, and no one knows where he is. Where he go? Where he go? No one knows where he got buried until a couple of years ago or 3 years ago,
King Richard
where
III.
a lady found him.
What did they find his helmet?
His bones. Found his bones. Because
How did they identify?
4 years that no one knew where he was buried. And apparently no one really cared. So that's why they never searched for him, you know? But he's in the history books and all that kind of stuff. Shakespeare has a play about him called Richard III. So over centuries he's been, talked about in schools and history and all that kind of stuff. But no one actually knows where, in fact, he's buried. So the movie's about this random woman who went to a Shakespeare play and got fascinated by King Richard III from the Shakespeare play, and just learned that his body never got found, and no one really cares. So she did her own sort of research, which led up to the point to actually finding his bones
Oh shit!
in the car park. In the car park, it was just in the car park, yeah. So she got the funding. She got some evidence. She got some evidence to say he might be in here. Looks pretty good. The evidence looks good that will be here. But it's interesting how she got the evidence, because it's like no one really put two and two together. Like everybody knew how to find them, but no one really did anything about it for all these years. Like even the experts,
Yeah.
So she actually did something about it, and she got some funding, which led to the just digging up this random car park in the city. It was like a car park, like somewhere like a back of a building, like a random building, a random car park sort of thing.
Shit.
And she dug it up, and they found some bones, did some DNA testing, and there you go. There goes King Richard III.
Holy shit! Oh yeah, true. I'm looking at the article right now.
So the controversial part of the story was that the university took the credit.
And they didn't even acknowledge the lady that actually did the work.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that was the story. So yeah, it was an interesting film. It was pretty cool how a random woman, decided to I'm gonna go look for King Richard, since no one in history wants to look for him, and she finds him. It's like weird.
You know why? Because she was super passionate about it. That's why.
Yeah.
So it was like 100%.
Yeah.
She was gonna find it.
A bizarre story, but watch that movie.
Shit. Yeah, right in the car park, all right, next to a brick wall, pretty much on the side of the street. Shit.
So, you boys, I just want to talk about a little bit of sports. So, man, big news, man, last night, or this morning, early morning, actually, Fiji beat England. Now, I woke up to that news on social media, and someone posted it up, and the first reaction I was like, what the fuck, man? Shame. Shame on England. You know what? I knew that Fiji will make some noise in this World Cup because they look strong as. They had good build-up games. I think they beat everybody in the Pacific Cup.
Yeah,
They beat Tonga and Samoa, and
convincingly too, eh?
yeah,
And
yeah,
it
that's right.
shows the chemistry that the Drua have. This is like of their squad. I think it's more than like 20, more than 20 in that squad from the Drua. So that's chemistry. They played week in, week out with each other. Like that's pretty much what a team going into a World Cup needs to have, eh? Otherwise, it's just a guessing game and who's your best starts and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. And I think for me, for England, I hate that team.
Yeah,
They've got this hashtag going around on social media called hashtag Wear the Rose. So I used that hashtag when I posted up their score when they lost to Fiji. I said, "We are wear the rose on your forehead," because that's what you get for having a judiciary with that gets guys like Owen Farrell off those bad tackles and for no reason. But yeah, it's a team I hate, man. But it's good to see them lose against one of the second tier nations, which looks like if you look at the rankings, Fiji now is above Wales, Australia. Wales and Australia. Yeah.
Well, they're in the 10A, is it? They're at 10, number 10.
I think they're. I've got the info here. So they're ranked 7th. So the world rankings go Ireland first, South Africa second, France third, New Zealand fourth, Scotland fifth, Argentina sixth, Fiji 7th, England 8th, Australia 9th, Wales 10th. So not bad for second tier nation to climb up in the top 10. And then also the game Ireland against Samoa, watched that this morning. It was basically Ireland's B team, but they almost lost. And Samoa looked really good. They were strong for parts of the game in a row. Like I think half an hour of the game, in the middle of the game, like end of the first half, start of the second half, Ireland was struggling against Samoa, man.
Yeah.
And that looked good. That was good signs. And they almost won. Just not enough at the end. A couple of mistakes, but no, it was good signs for Samoa leading into the World Cup. And the Waz won. New Zealand Warriors beat St. Joe's Dragon.
Yeah, the Friday night game, eh?
Friday night game.
It was touch and go for a while, though, eh?
I
mean, some of those the bounce of the ball, and just like But man, I don't know what it is with the Warriors when they play like teams outside the HA. It was like they struggled for a bit. It almost looked like they were struggling to put the game away as well. I think it was just come down to like defense in those dying minutes.
Yeah, and that's been the story for the last 4 games that they've been grinding out these wins. Now, I said that on the chat with the 135 Footy Show boys that I think that might be I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for the Warriors to grind out these games with teams that are in the bottom 8, because it looks like they're gonna face the Broncos or Penrith. If Broncos win, I think next week against Melbourne Storm, because of Penrith losing against the Eels, against their bogey team, the Eels, might put Brisbane Broncos at first place to become the minor premiership, which means that Penrith will face the Warriors in the first round of finals footy, but they get one chance. So if they lose to Penrith, then they'll either face the winner of one of the bottom 8 teams in the second round. So, but how good is what they're doing at Go Stadium? Like, man, the light show, the fireworks, man, that's the best show in town in Auckland. I think right now.
Yeah.
Like you better buy a Warriors ticket to go enjoy the show, because right now, man, that's the biggest ticket in town, I think.
Yeah, the kids went on Friday night. Yeah. They were messaging, man, just as you had posted that on Facebook, the kids would say, man, this atmosphere is mean. But I was like, good, it's cold there, eh? I was sitting there watching But now shout out to the Eels, man. That's what's up, eh? And you're welcome to all those people saying thanks for letting us into the top. But bro, it's just a matter of fact, man. When it comes to the who's the best team on that side of Sydney, man, you know what it is. Because yeah, sad. Actually, for the first time, I'm actually gonna get qualify Jerome Luai with his injury. But man, what a way to exit, eh? What a way to exit. It's like damn. So hopefully he's all right for the tour game when they play in October, eh? But yeah, I was just laughing how good we were, just for good minutes of the game, and like it didn't look like we were gonna lose from the get go. To be honest, and
I just want to make shout out
Suve's
to
on.
the. I want to make shout out to also Aaron because he went to the game. I saw his stories. He was at this kind of like a looked like a tailgate, like a like a
Oh, I
tailgate
saw it.
happening in the stadium. I think
Oh
there was a
shit!
tent. There was a tent behind the posts, and there were these. Let's say a boot kind of thing where they weren't cars, but they were like models of cars just backed up to the tents with the boot open, and you could get your drinks out of that. And there were tables in front of it, and you just drink and watch the game, which I thought was pretty cool. But that's what this is what entertainment is, man. This is what you need for the fans. So I, it's good that the Warriors are doing this kind of stuff, or Go Stadium is doing. I don't know who's responsible for or servicing the fans, but putting on a show like that, a light show, turning off the lights before the boys run out onto the field, having the fireworks, having an event like the the drinks in the tent. These are the sort of things you need to attract fans to come, man. It's not just coming to a game and watch the game and spending all your money on the what is it, $70
Hot dogs, I mean.
Coke or the $50 hot dog. But you need something more, man. Not something more than just sit down and watch the game. It needs to be an event. So big ups to the Warriors and Go Stadium for doing that. Sweet boys. We got a local hero.
Yeah, man. And it could have come at a better time to identify this guy, man. So the local hero that I've looked up is this guy named Bernie Halfley. If you didn't know who he is, you probably see some of his stories floating about on socials. But this guy is the guy who created the Give a Kid a Blanket. So this is going on 5 years now. So the bro pretty much he created um this hub where people can donate blankets. And he saw that a lot of kids that, around about the time when the statistics were going out about the poverty line and how many kids in schools live below the poverty line. And he used examples about like when you come from a big family and there's not enough blankets in the home. So he created this hub where he felt like there's so many people that might have extra blankets or linen sitting in their cupboards that they might not use this winter, right? So what happens to it? So he obviously thought this out really well, and like if you look at like rubbish and what's one of the biggest things at the moment that goes through the rubbish, and a lot of it's clothing, it doesn't get recycled back. So he created this hub, Give a Kid a Blanket, man, and the work that he does at the moment, man, doesn't go unnoticed, because he's located down here in Henderson. He's got a small staff that sort of come and sort all his blankets and stuff. But you ideally like he gets people if they've washed, bag it, note it, and then drop it into the center. Or he does like pickup hubs where people inside your own community might say, okay, this is a drop off collection point for blankets, and Bernie will go pick them up via his van. But I've seen his story, man, and like just the fact that like someone outside of a government sector or like whatever cares. This is a dude who thought about it. Man, it's cold. It's cold at night. How many kids out there don't have blankets? So they created this from just a action. He's doing it. He's with because I remember when he first started and he came on maybe the Good Morning Show and he was just saying, they had the cameras there. He wasn't really like camera comfortable. But since this time, he's managed to get secure funding. But he's always looking for people to donate and to also come to the party because it's just him, like doing the admin work and doing his search for funding. because he's got a lot of retired ladies that do the work inside the stores as well, and like where they located at the moment in Henderson. But man, I admire the work. Like it's one thing to talk about it and just talk, and a lot of people do that. That's what they do is just talk. But this dude, it's been one of the coldest winters I've felt in my whole life, to be honest. And without a guy like him putting in the work, and he puts it out there, man. If you're struggling to keep warm in the winter, head down, come down and grab a blanket. And if he used examples like, some kids, they get that cold, they might share a bed with their parent, so it might be the best way to keep warm in the house because you don't have a heat pump or underfloor heating and stuff like that. But yeah, this guy created an initiative. It's big now and it's still here. It survived, and I think he deserves the flowers that he gets acknowledged for the work that he does in our community, man. And if anyone's got blankets, man, look them up on giveablanket.com and yeah, man, this guy is a hero. He has to be the West local hero, man, because he's born and bred out west as well. So, yeah, man, shout out to Bernie, man. You're the man. Also, you're the West Network local hero.
Shout out, Bernie. So, boys, that's us for another episode, another week. I hope you guys have a good week. Next coming few days, I'll see you again on the next episode of the EOTC. Let's do some last words.
Yeah, again to the Deed family, all my condolences. Yeah, it's good to be back to the other clip. So thanks again, boys, for having me on. And yeah, and to my fabs out at Mara as well. And to my mom, she's still out there as well. She hasn't come back yet. Yes, and my final says.
Sure, it's good to see you back, man. It's been a minute. Just wanted to make a quick shout out to the host Bob. He's a constable. He usually usually go and see Eric at work. I saw him walking yesterday morning. I was at Friday morning, and he said that he plugs in. He listens to us. So like, man, shout out to that dude. My last words is I'll be following a chick. I think there was some time ago I was trying to find like who had the best snippet for the Cinderella, and for some reason, on Twitter, I didn't realize, but I hadn't actually activated its new setup. And I found something that this chick, she's an actual musician, and I was wondering why I wasn't getting posts from like notifications of her posts. Actually went into her page, man. She did a real good remix. Her name's Avanda, so she's only on Twitter. So I was trying to find her on like other socials, but she's not there. But something she shared on one of her posts, and I thought to myself, man, this is a prime example of like not holding back and acknowledging, like I'm always gonna acknowledge our bro Cams for the hard work that he puts into the network. I mean, if you think about the title of who the king is of podcasting out west, he owns it, man, because he is the king of podcasting out west. But just something that I saw on her post, man, because to me, I'm drawn to people who put themselves out there, like, and on Twitter, people are out the gate. But when it comes to talent, like if you got a talent and you're too mad to use TikTok, Facebook, or Insta, you'll usually find them on Instagram. I mean on Twitter, on X. So I found one of her posts and it's called Lift People. So lift people, pass along gigs, say fakes names in rooms that they aren't in. But people put people on when you can. And yesterday we had the opportunity to interview Steva, and I love her, man. Like what I didn't mention while we were talking is that I love her heart, because the thing that she does for the KOB Brotherhood, it goes unnoticed, and I see it. And I said to Kaz, but she sits at the table, because to me, someone who goes out of their way to not give a fuck about how others feel and just get it done, and then reflect on it, and then go and have that conversation about, sorry if that made you feel uncomfortable, but it had to be done. Because to me, it's like, if you're gonna get things done, man, feelings don't matter. It's just get yourself out there, get the one foot in front of the other, and we make the changes together. And that's where we see ourselves sitting. And I'm just grateful to be on this platform, Kaz. I love the EOTC. Shout out to the boys on the 135 Footy Show, man. And like I said, man, you're welcome for letting us smash down these boys up in Brisbane. So yeah, you know what it is.
So also, man,
Sugos.
bye, man. Just want to make shout out to DJ Fong for getting his play. I think it's going to start on the 6th of September to the 9th of September. So
3 days. Yep.
So grab your tickets on eventfinder.co.nz. Look for DJ's play, which is called What's the Difference? 685 to the World. And after Samoa's performance against Ireland, almost winning but looking strong, I think it's time to break out those flags again when the World Cup rolls around. So I can't wait for that. Okay, boys, let's get the fuck out of here.
Let it vote.